December 21st, 2015, the night our family's life was changed forever. This is not the first time this day has changed our lives or the first time that Alex has come close to the brink. Alex came into this world on December 21st, the year 2000. He was entering the world in the usual way, when during delivery a nurse was convinced that she felt his cord coming first. This process can be dangerous. In fact, if not discovered and left to be delivered naturally, can be fatal for the fetus. Even an emergency C-section could result in loss of oxygen and brain damage. After a fight with the doctor on call, the nurse finally convinced him it was in fact the cord coming first. He still felt the need to break my water first, to be sure. After doing so, we had a few very tense and terrifying minutes. I was rushed into a surgery room and put to sleep. No family members were allowed in. They rushed in the resuscitation team and other emergency personnel. Everyone in the room was holding their breath, waiting, preparing for the worst. Then, in the very early morning hours, Alex came out, crying, screaming. Instantly, everyone cheered as they all knew he was fine. We quickly fell in love with him. From a baby, he always seemed to know things, was always more intelligent than he should have been for someone so young. He was an absolute joy as a toddler, again, smarter than any child should be, and sweet as the day is long. He would go out of his way to make people happy, always wanting to help, and one of the most honorable people I know. He has always had this very strong sense of right and wrong. If he feels something is wrong, he will tell you, or better yet, just walk away. He hates conflict, and yet will not back down from a fight if he feels it's important. Many of the Philiptohos ladies will remember Alex. He used to come along to meetings and dinners with Mum and I. He was pretty much an honorary member. He loved hanging out with the adults. Still does. When Lucas and later Leo came along, Alex just fell into being a big brother. He didn't always like it, but he took his duty very seriously and still wants so much to protect his brothers from everything. He makes it his mission to be the example and make sure they are taken care of. He will also be the first one to torment him, but what are big brothers for? Alex is not a stranger to adversity, hardship, or challenge. Watching his father and I divorce and being really the only one of the boys to understand was very hard for him, but instead of using that as his excuse or a crutch, he chose the bright side of things. Later, when even more adversity occurred, he again took it in stride and just let it slide. Instead of going to Facebook and other methods to hash out his anger, he just let things go and walked away. John came into our lives, it seems, right when we needed him most. Alex was slow to let him in at first. He knew that he liked him, but he now felt he needed to protect me. In time, however, he and Alex have become very close. So close that they both forget they're not biologically connected to one another. I find this quote most fitting. Love is thicker than blood. The bond they share has never been stronger. With John came another little brother, except he is cooler and less annoying than the other ones, according to Alex. They get along famously, more like friends than brothers. As Alex proceeded into teenagehood, we were a little nervous. These things can go either way, you know. But he stayed true to the course. Between school, sports, and cadets, he was doing what he loved. Last summer, at Pipes and Drums camp, he proved he could do whatever he wanted, with hard work. He practiced and worked so hard on his bagpiping that he made himself sick. He was having passing out episodes at camp. He went on, persevered, and passed his level testing, and was in playing band for graduation. If you don't get sick of bagpipes after 6 weeks playing 10 to 12 hours a day, you know it's love. He returned to his 2137 cadet brothers in the fall. He became the youngest pipe major they have ever had. One of his proudest moments was when he was asked to be the piper for Remembrance Day ceremony for the Kensington Legion this year. He was so proud and honored to be able to give back to our veterans. Alex has been and continues to be an inspiration and a constant source of immense pride for us, and I know for this community as well. He loves serving in the altar with Father Peter, who has become far more than just our priest, but a true and great friend to Alex and this family. December 21st, 2015, the day that changed our family's lives forever. It was Alex's 15th birthday. He spent the day with his little brother Lucas. He was going to sleep over at his best friend Nick's place. They were going to hang out. Other Nick was coming. They were having fun. They decided to go sledding and enjoy the outdoors. We got the call around 8:30. When my phone rang, I knew it wasn't good. I saw Alex's picture on the screen, but when I answered, it wasn't Alex. It was Nick, telling me they had been sledding, and Alex hit some ice and took a bad fall. Hit a pole and could not feel his legs. They had called paramedics, and they were about to transport to hospital. John and I rushed over, beating the ambulance to the hospital. Seeing Alex being rushed down the hallway on a stretcher, screaming in pain, is not an image I will forget. Some of that night is a bit of a blur, and other parts are so vivid that even when I try to forget, I can't. After extensive testing and a lot of drugs to make him comfortable, the doctors came in to tell us the news. Alex, they told us, had suffered a complete spinal injury and was going to be paralyzed from the chest down for the rest of his life. The doctor went into details of the surgery that Alex required to repair his spine. But even with the repair, this was a complete injury, and they had little to no hope of him recovering feeling to his lower half. Not just his legs, but everything from the chest down. He needed a T4 to T7 decompression with fusion and instrumentation. The doctors also went into detail of what Alex's life would be after. We had a long and emotional night that night, and all of the next day. Finally, Alex went in for surgery on December 23rd at 7 a.m. It lasted 6 hours. This is where his journey truly begins.
I can do it. I can do it. I'll get through it. But I'm only human. And I bleed when I fall down. I'm only human. And I crash and I break down. Words in my head, knives in my heart. You build me up and then I fall apart. 'Cause I'm only human. I'm only human. I'm only human. Just a little human. I can take so much till I've had enough. 'Cause I'm only human. And I bleed when I fall down. I'm only human. And I crash and I break down. Your words in my head, knives in my heart. You build me up and then I fall apart. 'Cause I'm only human.
Fast forward 2 months. Alex has been through a great deal. So far, the changes to his life sometimes seem insurmountable. As a human being, I don't know how you recover. I don't know how you find the strength, but somehow he does. And he does this with grace and maturity beyond his years. Every nurse, porter, nurse's aide, OT, or PT who works with him loves him. He is gracious, kind, and strong. I remember the day we were waiting for his surgery. My good friend Jill came to wait with us. Alex, in his drug/pain-induced stupor, still managed, "Thanks for coming, Jill." This is just the person he is. He is having to relearn so much. Just getting in and out of bed is now a challenge, but he's rising to it. I know that God is great and that miracles happen. Should God choose to make further miracles and give Alex some function back, grateful is not sufficient enough a word to describe how we would feel. However, We are currently grateful for the miracle we have already received. Alex hit a light pole at approximately 30 kilometers an hour head first, and he doesn't have a brain injury or worse. Especially in light of similar events recently where one family lost 2 sons in one night, and the families of the other young men who also have long roads ahead and greater challenges than Alex. Our thoughts and prayers are also with those families on this day. We have a long road ahead, but again, we are grateful. We have our Alex. Yes, he's in hospital, but we get to see him and talk to him whenever we want. He is still here. He is still a source of immense pride for this family. He is still the big brother his brothers can look up to. We are also very grateful. No, not just grateful, but humbled, awestruck, overwhelmed, loved, and impressed by all the thoughts, prayers, food, support, information, babysitting, and donations from everyone we have supporting us through this. There are too many of you to mention. I have never seen a community or a city come together to support one family. It's awe-inspiring. As a family, the last few months have taken us to some dark places that at times have been hard to come out of. But with all this support and love, like Alex, we grow stronger by the day. Thank you all for putting this fundraiser together. To the committee who has, I can only guess, put in hours and hours away from your families to help give ours a lift, there are no words. To everyone who has come out today to support, thank you. A special thank you to Alex's doctors, especially his surgeon, Dr. Duplessis. All his countless nurses, aides, PTs, OTs, and the countless other therapists and hospital staff. You are amazing people. For your service and dedication, we thank you. Words just don't seem enough. Thank you to those we know, those we hardly know, those we are getting to know, and those we don't know at all. The support that has enveloped us has truly overwhelmed us, and it just keeps coming. I will leave you with one quote that we have taken to heart on this journey we share with Alex. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Thank you.
Tears I had to cry through. A lot of battles left me battered and bruised, and now it's shattered, had my heart ripped in two. I was broken. There were a lot of times I stumbled and crashed, when I was on the edge down to my last chance. So many times when I was so convinced that I was over, but I had to fall to rise above it all. I'm grateful for the storm, made me appreciate the sun. I'm grateful for the road, made me appreciate the right one. I'm grateful for the pain, for everything that made me brave. I'm thankful for all my scars, 'cause they only make my heart grateful. Drowning in doubt, the weight of all the pain was weighing me down. Pulled it together and I pulled myself out. Learned a lesson, that there's a lot you gotta go through, hell yes. But that's what got me strong, I got no regrets. And I got only love, got no bitterness. Count my blessings, yeah. I'm proud of every tear, yeah, 'cause they got me here. I'm grateful for the storm, made me appreciate the sun. I'm grateful for the road, made me appreciate the right one. I'm grateful for the pain, for everything that made me brave. I'm thankful for all my scars, 'cause they only make my not even one mistake I made. I got lost, found myself, found my way. I'm grateful for the stars.